Alrighty, g'day ladies and gentlemen. Out at this private permission I've got. As you can see, paddocks as far as the eye can see, except as I pan around, right there we've got a cooking chimney. And next to it is the landowner, young Simon, who's given me permission to come out here. This was a campsite for 3 infantry battalions and an artillery battalion during the Second World War. Gone along out the front of this, next to this cook's tent a little bit, and found a bit of iron over there. We've got our first coin. Now bear in mind this isn't my usual standard, I've actually cleaned this up already. And just in there folks we can see a beautiful 1942 Denver Mint sixpence. So I've already given it a bit of a clean because Simon was very interested. But pearl a little bit of kit, and as is tradition, the landowner owns it. All yours, mate.
Oh, thank you very much.
Enjoy. Yeah. Alright ladies and gents, we've moved away from that camp oven. We found that sixpence, the grass was just too thick, needs a good fire. But we've moved into this sclerophyll forest. We've got a couple of big ass trees like that one just there, and probably around about 10 metres from the base. You can see just poking out of the ground there. I'll try to get this so there's no shadow on it so you guys can see. Just there I've got the male part of the staple belt. So you've seen me put these together before. You know that I'm shit at doing it with one hand. This is only the male one. But yeah, once again, we're in the right area, so let's keep sniffing around, see what other camp items we can find. Alright folks, so we're still motoring along out here in the bush. Got a bit of a cough. So I found a couple of pieces of iron over there, but I'll get this in shadow so you can see it. But I've just uncovered a webbing buckle. So this is the old 3-prong type. And you can see, if you ever wondered how they went together before, if you have a look at that bend, you can see how they go together. So you got one half comes over the top, the other half comes along, and then you can sneak the tag end or the tail end into this section here to stop it from unravelling. So that's, yeah, World War II webbing buckle. Sweet, let's keep going, eh?
Because the trees are, I'll have a quick look at them, mate. That's turpentine there, so they're really good.
Simo's just waxing lyrical about the trees. Pardon me. Alright, so in this hole here we've just managed to pull out a nail and a sling end and another buckle. So I'm not going to bore you with every single buckle I find, but every time I find something new or different I'll bring it up. Bit light on for coins, we've got that sixpence, but we'll see how we go. We've got till lunchtime, and what have we got now? 10:30, so another hour and a half. We should be able to come up with a couple more coins at least, eh? Alright, let's keep going. Alrighty folks, so something I neglected to mention. I loaded up the V4, the new V4 program, the other day, as you're aware from a previous video, pardon me. But it was my birthday not that long ago, and voila, I've got the new MI6. This piece of kit is absolutely fantastic. I'm not running with the headphones today because I'm out with Simo, and he'd like to be able to hear the signals. But if I turn it on and put it on the screen here, you can see I've gone to pinpoint screen. How fantastic is that? So it transmits it straight through. It's turned it off, and we're straight back to the coil. Anyway, I digress. In the hole, we've got ourselves a Sam Brown buckle. So for those who aren't aware of what a Sam Brown is, you can Google it, or you can listen to me for about 2 seconds. It was an officer's belt that actually had a shoulder piece that went up and over the top. This is the connector that does that, that goes from the belt and up and over the top of the shoulder, diagonally across the body. So sweet, a bit of a buckle fest here. Wouldn't surprise me if we've got an area where they disposed of a lot of kit, because I can't see any other reason for like 9 or 10 buckles to be in the one place. Alright, well we're going to kick on. I'm not going to bore you with any more buckles unless it's one you haven't seen before. Let's see what else we can find, eh? Alrighty folks, so we've just found what is one of my most favourite things. People like Jim from MD Melbourne and those boys have marvelled at how many of these I find. And Jim, eat your heart out, mate. There's another one. So, for those who aren't aware what that is, and if you've been living under a rock, then you don't, or you haven't been looking at my my channel, which means you should subscribe. But just underneath here, if I flick that up, that, ladies and gents, is an Australian Rising Sun collar tab. So flip it over, It's got, fuck yeah. Sorry about the language there, folks. It's got both eyes intact and it's got the pins in.
Oh.
How fantastic is that? I'm going to give that a little finger clean. I'm not going to give it too much of a hit up. That is beautiful. Simo, she's yours, mate.
Wow. That is special.
Look at that. Alrighty. Let's see
Right,
what else we can
folks,
find,
so
folks. We've worked our way from over near that big tree over there to over near this massive turpentine. Botanical name escapes me, Simo.
Syncarpia.
Thank you. And I have found what is probably the cleanest looking hobnail boot tread I have ever seen. I don't actually think this has ever been fitted to a boot. You've seen me pull these out before with rivets still attached where guys have thrown a shoe almost, like to use a horsing parlance. But this particular one has never been fitted. You can see absolutely no wear on the treads whatsoever. That's pretty cool. It'll go in the bag with everything else, and we'll see what else we can find. We're really light on for coins. I wouldn't mind finding a stash of pennies and halfpennies, but we'll see how we go. Alright, catch you next time. We'll keep on cracking. Alrighty folks, so I just got a cracking 92 out here in the bush. So in the interim, I've been digging more buckles, a few more buckles, a couple more buckles, a couple of eyelets and shit like that, but just down here in the hole, and I hope you can see it, let me get a handy pointing stick. I reckon I've got myself a pip. Just here. I reckon that is a lieutenant's pip or a captain's pip. Remembering that lieutenants have 2 and captains have 3. I'm going to get a finger under that, theoretically, and pop it out of the hole. Yep, I'm right. It's a pip. Look at that, folks. That's absolutely beautiful. I can't give it too much of a clean for 2 reasons. 1, I don't want to break the loops off the back, and 2, my toothbrush is in the car. But that is in pretty good nick too. Look at that. Beautiful as. Alright, you'll have a look at that at the roundup anyway. Let's keep going. Alrighty, so don't know what happened to that last bit, but I was bemoaning the fact that I hadn't found any coins, and just popped this little silver threepence. Just popped it out of the coin ball before, out of this beautiful reddish soil, and this is a sheaf of wheat threepence, and it's a 1943. Okay folks, don't lick your coins, they taste bad. Looks like a 1943, really hard to see, which will make it King George the 6th. Alrighty, so that's 2 silvers, no pennies yet. That's unusual. You know why? We've found bits of a Sam Brown, we've found a pip, and we're finding silver coins. Bloody officers, too much money. Alright, let's keep going. Alrighty ladies and gents, those of you that hang out with me a little bit know that I like to find these kind of things. Now, you also should know, just by looking at that face there, exactly what that is. That's the octagonal dog tag from a soldier's dog tag set. So I haven't uncovered that yet. Let's do that together. I'm just going to sneak a finger under here, pop him up, roll him over, and it's blank. No, it's not blank. Fucking sweet. I mean, very, very sweet. Sorry about the language there, folks. I'm having one of those days. It's been hand carved in, and it belongs to... no way. The name on that is exactly the same as my last name, Wheeler JG, and my name is Paul Wheeler, VX36754, and he was a Methodist. That's just fucking freaky, to be honest. Alright, I'm going to can check that out when I get home. Sweet. Alright, I'll get back to you on that one. Alrighty, so still a little bit freaked out by that dog tag, but about 3 minutes later and 3 metres further on, and I'll let Simon do the honours on this one. Can you provide a bit of shadow there, please, Simon? You can see the old classic Australia shoulder flash. You want to pick that up, Simon, and give her a clean off and go for it. So, got both eyelets, yep. There's the Australia shoulder flash. So, for those who weren't aware, this particular piece goes on the uniform at the base of the epaulet just there. So, that's an absolute crack. I think we've found one of everything we ever wanted to find out here. The only thing we haven't found is a is a Commonwealth Military Forces button of any description. I didn't film. I did get a rising sun. I did get a slouch hat chin strap buckle as well. I didn't bother to film that because you've seen that before, but important things like this are always worth filming. And yes, I should get a new pair of gloves. All right, let's crack on. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the wrap-up from this morning's hunt with Simon out on the private permission on his property. I'm trying to get an angle where the sun's not going to get in the way of things here. I'm just going to do a quick circle around. That's a bit better. Okay, we'll have a look at the really good stuff first. Over here we've got the dog tag that just happens to have the same last name as mine on it. I'm still a bit freaked out by that. We've got two gorgeous pre-decimal silver coins, both wartime vintage. That sixpence is an absolute cracker. We've got an Australia shoulder flash. You saw that come out. We've got that officer's pip you saw come out, as well as the collar tab rising sun. What you didn't see come out was this little piece of trench art, which is a collar tab rising sun that's been cut into a square for some reason. Unless someone was attaching campaign ribbons to it as part of a ribbon bar. It's the only reason I can think of doing that. Other than that, someone's having a bit of fun, I think, of an evening. In the buckles, we have got a plethora. I'm not going to go through and describe them all. You saw most of them come out, but feast your eyes on that, folks. I'm not going to go through and describe them, except for the one over here, which is a rising sun. I'll do it again. A slouch hat chin strap buckle. This item you didn't see come out. That's a grenade base piece. So it actually goes on the base of the M36 grenade, so that you could attach it to the cup for firing. And then over here we've got one piece of ammunition, which is a bit of a rarity for here, and this is the junk. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items of junk, and the rest is all keepers. Thanks for watching, folks. I'd like to thank Simon for the use of his property.
Thank you.
He'll be keeping all of this stuff, including the junk, except for the dog tag, which I'll take back and sort out. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one, eh?